Over the past 6 months, I've truly been enjoying the best and worst things about the Dead Space franchise. One of the best assets being that the games are freaking scary, and one of the worst being that the games are freaking scary. So, with the Dead Space remake around the corner, I thought it was a fine time to take a bit of a dive into what made the original games so great to begin with, and what better way to start off than with Necromorphs. These are the big bads, the creepy crawlers ready to stick their sharp, thin claws right up the butt of any and all unsuspecting victims. Their screams are enough to send a chill down your spine. Sometimes they feel so real, the mere threat of them being there is enough to scare you off. Other times they're just dumb AIs running in circles. However, dumb or intelligent, they are still deadly, so here's my top 5 most horrendous marker spawn terrors to face in Dead Space 1 and 2. There's no DS3 because I haven't played the game. Everybody knows some lubrication goes a long way into making a fun night in more ways than one. So personally, I'm all for some spit play. But puke? Nah, that's a step too far, son. These disgusting vomit people take way too many shots to dismember even with fully upgraded weapons. And even though you can use their spitballs against them, one-shotting them, sometimes they spawn on the other side of the freaking map without you noticing. So picture this, you're fighting a bunch of morphs, going ra-ta-ta-ta-ta, switching weapons left and right because there's never any freaking ammo, going Rambo. All of a sudden, you go slow as heck and you get bodied by some randoms. And now you're back at square one. Pukers are as annoying as they are deadly because they always have to be the first necromorph you kill or your life will be made a living hell. Granted, if your life already is a living hell, I guess you don't really care about them either way, and then I could make some sophisticated comment about how your experiences are a mirror of Isaac's in-game nightmares and how we are all role-playing a guy going crazy after killing the love of his life. I don't know how to transition off of this. Takeda Nobushige said, when one would make a surprise attack on the enemy, he should avoid major roads and seek out the lesser ones, then attack. A little on the nose, but brilliant statement, really. So now I want you to think, of which necromorph is most like a centuries old samurai who likes to sneak attack? I'll give you 8 seconds. Let me get something to drink. It's the enhanced slasher. These are by far my most hated enemies in the entire franchise. You enter a room, get jumped by 20 dudes, fight for your life, barely make it out, you're on 1 HP, about to enter a safe area, and right before you enter, BAM! Snuffed out by a sneak. My lord, bro. Oh my god! That was an accident. That was an accident. I did not mean to press that. I did not mean to press that. I'm out of ammo. I'm out of ammo. Oh god, bro! Bro. And now you can do it all over again. Great fun. Side note, I don't think there's any other enemy in the game that has jump scared me more than these guys. And the only other ones who have done that are Leapers. Transition. I don't have a lot to say on Leapers other than they are complete nutjobs who should all die. Well, I guess they are already dead. Whatever. They should all burn so that not even their ashes remain in the material plane. Again, if you're on the easier mode, these things don't really matter what else in the game does at that level. However, in Heart and Zealot and above, you get your butt whooped. They are fast, they jump, they are everywhere, and above all, they one-shot you. You basically have to stasis them on sight or you're dead, and if that doesn't frighten you, then you too are dead inside. Congratulations and welcome to the club. Also, because I'm Mr. Subtle, Exploders. Here's the thing about Exploders. They are complete and utter douches. The moment you hear one of these vermin scream, you have to drop everything you're doing, even if that is getting pounded by a 5-ton brute, and figure out where you're going to get nailed from. If you're playing on an easier difficulty, you may not even think these are a problem. But on higher difficulties, you get one shot. Oh, you're on chapter 11 and you're fighting your way through a tough room and almost made it out? Cool, let me just spawn an exploder behind you with nowhere else to go. Good luck, buddy. Ah, you went through 20 waves of enemies? Well, I'm going to magically teleport Randy's ballsack right next to you to end your fun. See ya, kiddo. It's one of the things that made me notice that Glenn Schofield really is an insufferable character who's out to make us all scream in both fear and anger.
My number one goal was to scare the heck out of one person. I wanted to make the scariest game.
It's one of the reasons I am terrified out of my mind at playing Callisto Protocol, but I still will. So hey, if you guys want to see that, like the video, subscribe to the channel, you already know what's up. Now listen, do I really have to explain these? Most enemies in the game just appear randomly. Like, you're walking down a flight of stairs or some dark corridor, you hear a sound, and all of a sudden, ooh, there's a new monster. Stalkers are so cracked, the game basically gave them an entire introduction cinematic. What the heck is this? It's jumping! Oh god, there are multiple now. Oh my god, hold up. Nah, get me out. Dog, they're everywhere! I'm being surrounded, dog. What are they doing? Oh my lord. What is this, dog? They are fast and numerous, and honestly, though you can see which one of them is about to charge you by the way they peek around the corner, I still always feel claustrophobic when I'm backed up against the wall, screen moving left to right in panic. These dudes are one of the meanest necromorphs in the game, and I never want to face them again. Now, some people may have noticed by now that there are no bosses on this list, which is completely on purpose. I'm not sure if other people also think this way, but I feel like the bosses in DS1 and DS2 are by far the easiest encounters in the game. The last boss of DS2 was basically a contact beam second firing mode spam, and the endgame boss or Leviathan of DS1, I mean, I don't even remember honestly. In my head, there's only one boss extremely deadly in this entire franchise, which is also why they made it impossible to fight him, and that's the Tormentor. There really is no explanation needed on why this guy is an absolute menace, I think. Also, one of my audience members revealed a very disturbing thought to me once, which is that the giant slap of "please do not come near me" may still be alive, even after being yeeted into space by an explosion. Yeah, let that sink in. Alright, we've reached the end of the video, so here's some honorable mentions to alleviate some of the inevitable flame wars in the comments. Spitters, because they are basically Pukers' unwanted sister. Regenerators, since no one taught them not to force themselves on other people. And the Pack, simply because they are some of the most disgusting enemies in the entire game and should all have been snuffed in the clip.